Hi everyone, and here we are at Exehaven Harbour once again. Not really much to report in terms of work on the layout. I'm waiting supplies really. I've got some stuff coming, so hopefully over this weekend I'll be able to do a little more. And once I've got the back scenes complete, because I'm waiting for some of those to finish up, I can then get cracking because I'm really desperate to start getting some track laid properly and so on. And of course, life gets in the way this past week or two. Although I've had a bit of time out here, I've been doing the garden, I've played golf because the weather's not been too bad, apart from the past few days, obviously. Yeah, I mean, there are other things to do than the model railway, unfortunately. But hopefully next week might get a bit more time out here. And like I say, once I get the back scenes done, then I can get cracking and start laying some of the track. Just a little aside, a friend of mine from Bognor Regis, Chris, he's got a great little channel. Have a little look at what he's up to. Chris wanted to see the scale of the freighter held in my hands. So there it is, Chris. It's not too bad, but I'll tell you, mate, some of this is so fiddly, it is incredible. But yeah, so that's that. You'll see further on in the video, I've got a little segment on my girder bridges, how they're coming along, and another little segment showing you about the kits that I've just built for the Budley Regis area of the layout. So I'm going to stop it there because also I'm going to just show you, and they're only hand drawn on graph paper, the outline plans of the actual layout itself, and I've sort of planned Budley Regis station area. I haven't got anywhere near going into the track plan around the Exehaven Harbour station. I just know that there's going to be probably 4 platforms there, maybe 5, and working out the tracks around the docks will come as I move around the layout. It's pretty flexible how it works. I'm not even quite sure how I'm going to do the harbour yet. I know where it's going to be on the layout, but I don't know whether it's going to be one long length or I might even just take it round another edge, just to improve the size of the harbour. So that was that. On the note about the harbour, actually I've got another boat coming. I think in a previous episode I showed you some kits from JSC. They come in a lovely book kit and they're really smashing models. Well, I got in contact with them about sort of making them to sort of some sort of scale, like N-gauge and 00, and they said they will do that. It does cost extra, but I've had one of the kits that I was after. They've actually scaled it down because it was pretty easy for them to do to 1 to 2/50th scale, because the kits that I've already got are 1 to 400. So it's much closer to N-gauge than 1/400. So we'll wait and see. I've got that coming through the post, and it did cost me a little bit extra. I don't think the wife knows how much that is yet, but it was probably the best part of 50 quid just for a bloody kit. But I went with it because I just want to see the size of the boat, really, in comparison. And I'm hoping, you know, even if I can't put it dockside, it might be under the girder bridges coming into the bay. So we'll see. Okay, that's enough for me for now, and we'll move on to the plans. Right, so back again. This is the plan that I've got for Budley Regis Station. I'm trying to keep everything pretty basic and simple. I think the overriding thing that I wanted with this layout was it to be more scenery than railway, and I think I'm trying to achieve this. I don't want hundreds and hundreds of points everywhere. I just want it pretty simple. I want things just to be able to run easily, if you know what I mean. So anyway, it's going to be a 2-platform station. There's the long platform which comes right up to the end there, and then we've got a sort of bay platform in there. This siding here, I hope perhaps just to keep some carriages, anything like that we can store. I mean, a lot of this depends on room. This is not to scale by any means, but I'm gonna, obviously this track here is for the goods shed, this track over here for the engine shed. Possible turntable, and again, depending on space, I haven't measured it out yet, but you know, these are my early doodlings, and you know, trying to stick to my plan of keeping things simple. As I've got on there, that's not a 3-way point. There'll be 2 separate points for that. And then I've got a little head shunt over here. You know, and again, this is all, the whole track plan that I have is pretty flexible. So I think for me, it sort of semi-fits. I have test fit, and I've started drawing it out on some paper over here, where I've got all the track. It's hidden now, but I actually, the engine shed and the goods shed is based on the sizes of the scale scenes kits. So I actually cut out like a template and just fit them all in, and everything does seem to fit in quite nicely. So we'll see how that goes when we actually start putting the track down and start building it. So yeah, so that's that. There's probably lots and lots more things that I could do with this, but that's kind of how I want it to look. I don't want it to look overcrowded, and I just want to give it a flavour of the end of a southern region line from London, and having trains coming in from all over the country, especially during the summer. Perhaps a daily service from the Midlands as well, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so moving on to the actual overall plan, and this, by the way, is only drawn so that I've got an idea of how the track plan actually works. So over in that top right corner is Budleigh Regis Station. The track comes along. That's a single, it's kind of a single line like it might have been once from Sidmouth, and then it joins up with the main line. We get onto the main line. All the main lines are double track. Then we come to the girder bridges. Now the girder bridges will cross like an estuary, and they will be high enough to have the liner coming in to Exehaven Harbour. You'll have to sort of use your imagination at the moment, because, oh, there's a boat there. This is the sort of area that I come in on. It'll probably be nearly as wide as that gap, because I want to sort of have that feeding in from the sea and into this sort of bay, and behind me, and you'll have to imagine the bay because it isn't effectively there. And this is where Exehaven Harbour will be, along here, all down this edge, and right, I'm probably going to do it round to here as well. So we'll see. We'll just see how much room we've got at the time. So, okay, we come over the girder bridges, we go round, and the line runs into Exehaven Harbour. And as I said earlier, haven't really got a plan for that yet, but that will be flexible as we get nearer the time. We leave Exehaven Harbour, and then we come round to the front of the layout, which is just over there. And that is going to be Exham Bay, I'm going to call that. And we're going to have a lovely sort of old seaside town beach sort of area, as Budleigh Regis is as well, really, but there's not much of room to put much of a beach and town scene. So again, I wanted a nice beachy kind of scene with cliffs and everything like that. So anyway, that runs round. We come out of there, we go back over the girder bridge again, we come right round, and we come into Exehaven town station. This I'm going to have possibly a 2 or 3 platform station. I'm hoping to have a bay platform because I want the local service to run from Budley Regis right round. It'll go into Exehaven Harbour, stop there, stop at Exham Bay, back round over that girder bridge, and then come in and terminate at Exham town station. So that's that. The main line continues and it goes round and then it just joins up in that loop again. And it's like it's like a figure of 8 almost. But it should be, it should be quite a nice long run for the trains to rock round, as I do all of my bits and pieces out here. Something that I wanted, I like the idea, hence why I've got Budley Regis and then running into Exehaven town. I like the idea of an end-to-end, but actually at the end of the day, I like to see the trains running round, and if I can, I'm hoping to have sort of 4, 8 to 10 coach trains running. Probably 8, 10 might be pushing the limit a bit really, but yeah, that is the basic plan. And as time goes along, like I say, I'll elaborate a bit further once I know what I can fit in. So that's my plans. I hope you like them. Could be interesting. A complete novice trying to do something like this, but I'm really up for it. I can't wait to really get started at it. I seem to get somewhere at the moment and then kind of stop again. So anyway, that's where we are with that. Right, so here we are in the garden, and one temporary spray booth built. As you can see, I am giving the old Halfords primer to the girder bridges from End Scenic. They're coming up really nice, and due another coat shortly. So here we are again, Exehaven Harbour. I'm currently building this pub and shops low relief kit from Metcalfe. Great kit, love it very much. It's to fill a gap down by Budley Regis station, and like I say, I really like building Metcalfe kits in Engage because they are pre-cut. The only thing that I'm not that keen on are the actual roofs, and after, by sheer coincidence actually, Stephen Elvenholm got some tile sheets from York Models Railway, I think it's York Models or something like that, and on the day that he produced his video, I actually bought the tiles myself. So after watching him, and I must say it is a bit of a struggle, I've come up with a way of doing it, and I'll show you what I've done. Now, just over here, at the top here, is the actual Metcalfe roof. Now this one is the end roof on the left, which has got the corner part to it, which made it slightly difficult because I think as we go back to the actual roof there, you'll see that white strip at the bottom where I started putting the tiles on, and I got up to the first sort of, I don't know, 4 or 5 runs of tiles, and they weren't straight, they were all over the place. It looked okay, but it didn't look good. So what I decided to do was, I've actually cut out from an A4 sheet of paper, and I'll turn this one if I can, it's a bit tricky. I actually cut out an A4 piece of paper into the shape of that roof section. So there's 3 sections to this little bit of roof, and effectively all I've done is put the tiles onto there in their strips. Now, apologies for the bad camera work here. I'm trying to do, as ever, and a lot of people on here, everything one-handed. So that's the result of what I've got. And these are the actual tiles that you get from your box. You come in this big strip like that, and you just cut them off. I've also got the terracotta ridge tiles which are beneath it. But I found that it's a great way of putting things together. Now, my intention was just to stick them back onto the roof in their sections and do it that way. But they have become quite rigid with the paper on the back. So, there we go. I can't see where you go. There. And it's actually, I'm actually going to fit them without the actual roof as backing. So I'll come back to you on that when I've actually done it, but I may not do that for a while because I am fitting lights into these properties, so we'll see. But I think you'll agree that they've come out pretty good. I think let's just try and put them together. So that forms part of the corner, like that. Oh no, I think I've got that the wrong way round. Oh, this one hasn't, I haven't finished cutting this one yet, but basically this one here forms the other little bit of the corner, and you'll see the white strip of A4 paper. Try and get that in focus, that's a bit better. And all I do is just cut round with a very sharp knife into the shape, and I'm really happy with the way that that's come out. And I think it does look better than the actual ridge tiles on the Metcalfe kit. Anyway, enough for now. Cheers. Right, so here we are. This is the finished article. Oh, I say finished, nearly finished. I've got some styrene tubing that I'm going to use for the roofs, for the chimney pots. But in general, I'm pretty happy with this. The roof slates are excellent, although I'm not 100% convinced about the ridge tiles, because even once I've scored them, they still tend to seem to want to lay flat. I think initially I was going to lay the roofs up without actually attaching them to the roof segments that come with the kit. I started looking at that with the first building on the left, but actually I found it was easier to actually mount them on the roof itself once I've done it. But yeah, it creates a pretty good roof tile effect. I'm really quite happy with the actual tiles themselves. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about the ridge tiles. Yeah, they're fine and they'll stay on this kit, but in future I might try and find another way to do that, but we'll wait and see on that. So they'll fit into the corner around about where Budley Regis Station is, and hopefully in the next few weeks you'll see that once I start making some progress. Okay, well that's another episode over. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks to all of the new subscribers that I've got after being mentioned on Tony Northeastern's video channel, YouTube channel. It's more than doubled. I mean, I'm not in anywhere near the heady heights that some of the top guys are, but yeah, I think I just checked before we come on. Actually, I'm up to about 61. But before Tony mentioned it, I was down in the 20s. So thanks, Tony. You're a good guy. But yeah, that kind of rounds it up for this week. Hopefully I've got some more to report on in terms of the actual layout itself. So thanks very much, everybody. Anybody that's coming on that's not watched this channel before, subscribe. Could be interesting. I am a novice, and it could be fun. I will film my mistakes as well, so don't worry about that. I will make plenty, there's no doubt. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you soon.